of Health, Makerere University College of Health Sciences as a lecturer, the TMR International Hospital, the Surgery Hospital Nakuru as a primary care physician. Most recently, she worked as a clinical head of Troket Health Telemedicine Services, and then she belonged to the Uganda Medical Association, St. Mary's Namagunga Old Girls Association, and where she also served as head girl at her time. Also, she is a member of other different spaces. In her own story of redefining health, she has been equipped as a transformational speaker and influencer and an advocate for health and healing through public speaking, and has personally authored a lot of blogs and podcasts, I think, yeah. She loves to swim, to walk, to ride her bicycle in her pastime. She swims, dines with friends, listens to inspirational messages, both audio and video, and she draws her strength and confidence in nurturing her relationship with Jesus Christ. So welcome the founder of Holistic Health Hub, an initiative which supports ambitious professionals to live a life of abundance through finding and living true health. Right. That is emotionally, physically, and socially. So you're welcome, mentor Lillian. Today you are coming to different spaces as a doctor, as a mentor, as a, yeah, you care about every part of our life. And I'm super excited to have you here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you
Lillian. So much. I really, really appreciate Primera. You are amazing. One of the people that really inspires me. Thank you so much for making it for yourself. I want you to unmute and just give yourself a warm clap for being here. Please unmute everyone. Let us acknowledge that we've made the time to be here. Come on, unmute. I've given you permission to unmute, please. Very good. Thank you. So after that, you can mute yourself again and let us start. I'm expecting so many other people in the room. I'll share my slides. I'm expecting so many other people in the room because the numbers were overwhelming. I thought I would have like, I think my mind planned for 30, I think. My mind planned for 30.
Yeah, we're almost there.
Can you see my slide?
We shall get there. Yes, we can. Thank you.
Okay, awesome. So my mind planned for 30, but somehow the numbers have kept going, and I'm hoping that everyone will make it here. It might be a bit overwhelming for me, but it's okay. God has given me the assignment. I shall accomplish by his grace, right? Okay, so thank you so much for making it here. I really celebrate each one of you. Welcome to the Discipline Challenge. I want to call it the Discipline Pacemaker for 2024. I am a medical doctor, so I'll use a lot of medical jargon here and there. In the heart, we have a pacemaker that is a small little, it has like a wiring of nerves, a wiring of, something in the heart that sets the pace for your heart to pump. So when your pacemaker dies, your heart is dead. And a pacemaker is often replaced for people who are failing to manage the contractility of the heart. So I feel that everything starts, I know that everything in the heart starts at the pacemaker. And that is why I call this our discipline pacemaker. My greatest desire is that you are as excited as I am, and that we shall move through this together. I hope I can see the messages in case I'm not heard or internet. We pray for God's grace that he will keep things in order today. I won't take long. I don't plan to be here longer than 30 minutes, sorry. So allow me to set my timer. A disciplined person keeps time. So I'll set my timer. Awesome. So how did this discipline, maybe I start from, this is the discipline challenge. In case you're lost, you think you're lost, you're in a space where people have come together to finish 2023 strong. Why are we doing a discipline challenge when the year is ending? Everyone is reminding us how the year has ended, how if you've not done anything, you're losing out, or stop and plan for the next year. I am one of those people who don't believe that, because I know that even 1 second, I have seen people's lives saved with just 1 second. If 1 second can save someone's life, how about 21 days? How about 75 days, And one of the statistics that I have found most recently that even got me more excited to do this is that most goals in any game happen in the last quarter of the game. So for football, it happens in the last 15 minutes of the game. That's when most goals are scored statistically. American football, I went and checked, it's the same thing. Volleyball, all of them, things happen in the last seconds. Swimmers, they beat their best times in the last seconds of their swim. And then when we go to business, some of you who are business people here, the highest number of sales are made in the last 45 days of the year. Now, if all those statistics are correct, how about our health? So there, I go on to tell you briefly, like Primera has said, thank you so much for introducing me. It's humbling to hear all that. And I won't repeat because really she has said it all. I'm a wife and mother, a public health specialist, and a family physician. Mostly I've practiced family medicine, but as through my transformation, I've embraced my history of public health. Before this, I used not to bring it forward. Now I confidently stand in it as part of my story. And my biggest why in life, why I wake up every day, is to be complete. I desire to be complete. And even when I look in my writings, when you do this work and look back, when I look in my previous writings, I've always written about completeness. Even as young as secondary school, there was something I kept talking about being complete. So for me, completeness completes me. No wonder I like holistic health, and I'll tell you what it is in a bit. And my mission is to support ambitious professionals, and I believe you are, because you're here to find completeness. And I believe that this completeness is found when you are healthy. But what does health mean? I'll probably ask if, somebody can unmute, 1 or 2 people, tell me what you think health is. I'll allow just 2 people because I can't see the chat very easily. Anybody? 1, 2 people, just briefly tell me, talking about health, what do you feel it means to you? The ones that can write in the chat, you can. Anybody? Okay, now before that, I actually forgot to do something. There was supposed to be an icebreaker. I want us to take a moment, pause there, forget everything I've said for now. I want each one of us to take 1 minute and think about what you're grateful for. That's where I should have started from, but adrenaline makes you get confused. What are you grateful for? Let me open up the chat so that I can see. Pamela Simwe told us that health is well-being. Thank you, Pamela. Now I am asking people, what are we grateful for? Please take a moment and do that. If you don't want to put in the chat, write it in your notebook. If you don't have a notebook near you, please look for it. Today, I am grateful for each one of you. I'm grateful for this challenge. It started in my inner space when I was alone, doing my practices that keep me disciplined. And I had the vision of doing this. And look, it has happened. For me, I am grateful. Like, even if we stopped here, the fact that you have shown up is my greatest gratitude today. Thank you, Gloria. She's grateful sorry, I missed that. Gloria is grateful. Oops, the messages are going fast. Thank you. Grateful for life. Letitia, grateful for life. Someone was mentioning health, referring to mental, physical, social. We shall come back to that. Someone is grateful that she's finally managed to complete ISTB certification after posting it for many times. We celebrate you, Maria. Congratulations. Someone is grateful for their loving family. That's Pamela. Lydia is grateful for my family. Lydia, I'm so happy to see you here. Anybody else, you're grateful for something? I want you to do that work because that is part of healing. When you do that activity, I won't have time to say so much science, but something happens in your brain And in your body, when you take even just one moment thinking about gratitude, there is never a time when you're thinking about what you're grateful for and you are thinking negatively as well. Rarely. It can't happen. It would be an oxymoron. So when you are in a state of gratitude, your body releases very good hormones that start to heal your body. Okay? So even if I've not read out your answer, take a moment and write your gratitude list. Okay? Thank you for those that have shared. So back to health. Thank you. Someone is grateful for completing a journal that she has designed for months. Ruth, I celebrate you. I'm also grateful for that. Someone is grateful for the opportunity to learn. Awesome. Thank you so much. Keep them coming. So someone was telling us about health, that she thinks health is physical, emotional, and social well-being and spiritual. Thank you very much. That is it. She has nailed it. And that is Joletta. So essentially, that is the health we're talking about. Many times people think that health is, I have a good body, I have not gone to my doctor, I have not had a flu in a while. But today I want to teach you that health is not that. Health is exactly how she has said it. Health is a state of complete emotional, physical, and social well-being, and not the absence of disease and infirmity. So when you don't have disease, it doesn't mean you're healthy. No. When you are not going to your doctor, it doesn't mean you're healthy. If your mind, your body, and your social well-being are not in the right place, you are not healthy. I'm sorry to burst your bubble. So I realized that 3 years ago, having learned it in medical school almost 15 years ago. This is not for you to guess my age, but almost 15 years ago, I learned this definition that I had never figured or understood. I even thought that it was a joke. We laughed about it. But when I started to recover, when I started to heal, my story started from the loss of my father, and it was just the climax of everything that went downhill. I've said that story before on this forum. If you want more of it, on my website, I've said it all over the place. So because of time, I won't repeat it, but that's where it all started. But that was just the tip of the iceberg. It was the climax of all the things that were going wrong in my life. So in the process of starting to recover, I started to say, am I really healthy? I'm going to the hospital and giving people health, yet I'm falling apart. Aren't I lying? Aren't I being hypocritical? So basically, in a nutshell, I wasn't doing what I was asking my people to do. So I started to rethink health step by step. Now, this journey has taken me almost 3 years, coming on to 4 years, but I share it with people in one sitting, in 21 days, in 3 months, in 1 year. And that's the beauty about getting support. When you get support, you're seeing somebody's simplified method. Okay? So basically, that's what I'm talking about. And this particular people were asking me, is this thing free? Are you giving it free of charge? Yes, I am. So November is a month when I lost my dad. And my dad was very disciplined, very loving, a very kind person. I could talk about him for a whole presentation. But I thought, this is the first year I have celebrated this anniversary without crying, without being so sad. And what I felt is I wanted to give away. I wanted to give because he gave. The only thing he went to the grave with was giving and love. So I said, I'll pay it forward and bless people, the things that have changed my life. So I ran different programs, and discipline is the nurturing part of the program. It's the beginning. When you fail in discipline, you cannot achieve health. So that's why I thought if we start together 21 days, this is a pacemaker for you to continue. So while we start on this journey, we are going all the way. It's a journey going to completion, right? So that is really what it is essentially. And what am I talking about? Discipline, the essentials of knowing this is that we are asking ourselves to trust ourselves. It starts at you putting the trust in yourself and keeping the promises for yourself. I'm hoping that before you came, I prompted you in the emails, please write down the things that you want to finish with, which you've not been able to finish. I hope you did that. I hope you are able to write your list down. So we are going to promise ourselves that we are going to finish these things. That's where it starts from. And what does it do when you do that? You are facilitating your lifestyle of health. I assure you, if you fail on this part, you can't achieve the rest. You can't have emotional, physical, and social well-being. And that's why I've said this is the nurturing part of the courses that I have designed. This is where we all start from. And I've realized that when we don't have it, we fail in almost everything in life. So this is to give back to you. Let's do this together as a facilitation for a healthy lifestyle. I start by teaching people to be healthy. And by the time you finish the journey, you are actually glowing. You are actually in abundance. It hasn't taken your problems away, but you as a person are in a better state to manage whatever is going on around you. So when you do not master trusting yourself, or when you don't keep promises to yourself, what happens? Your body, your mind reads it as, I don't trust you. And I'll give you a small story. There's a lady, one of my mentors told us this story. She had a mutual friend. She had a friend, let's say friend A, let me call that friend Clara. And then Clara was introducing my mentor to another friend, say, called Isabel. So Clara told my mentor, let me call my mentor Sharon. So Clara told Sharon, I'm introducing you to Isabel, but I must warn you, don't take her to her word. Because my mentor, Sharon, was going to do some work with Isabel. But Clara was telling her, be careful, don't go all out. But the work my mentor needed to do was so urgent, and she really, really needed this person to give her the work. So they got along, they started talking, they started moving and all. And as she moved on and on, I guess she forgot the advice that her friend had given her. And in the long run, there was one particular event where this lady, Isabel, was supposed to call an important person to finish the contract for my mentor. So because of what she remembered, because of what she had been told, she didn't put in so much to prepare to meet that particular mentor, that particular icon that this friend had promised. And true to it, when the day came, this person didn't call, this person didn't SMS, the day passed somehow. And she was shocked. My mentor was shocked, but they're not shocked because they warned her, okay? And she eventually got to tell her, what happened, what went on, blah, blah, blah. But it was her usual thing. She's like, because I didn't hear from you, I thought you had forgotten or abandoned the idea. And what does this tell you back to us? Your brain waits for you to instruct it. So you tell your brain, today I'm going to start exercising, and your brain prepares to exercise, and you actually do not. So your brain, there's a part of the brain called the limbic system, naturally is meant to protect us from behavior that will harm us. So your brain reads that as harm because you get stressed because of what you've not done. Okay? So what your brain quickly does is to say, I don't need, protect itself. And whenever you promise again, it doesn't, says, you've done that before. You promise again, you've done that before. And it doesn't actually support you to remember what you've promised. So guys, these things are scientific. And when you understand the science, when you promise yourself to do something, do it. Because when you don't, you're causing your brain to remodel and not trust you. Now that is very dangerous. But that's what we've all done. That's what we've done almost every day. I can assure you, even today, probably I did it. But when you are aware, you set small little steps and purpose to finish them. And that's what I'm talking about. So why do we fail? First is because we have unfulfilled promises to ourselves, many. Secondly, like I've told you, it's a protective mechanism because you lied to yourself, you didn't keep your promise the first time, the second time, the third time. Your brain then protects itself because the effect of you not fulfilling your promise causes stress. So the brain protects you from the damage of stress. Therefore, it stops trusting you. So that means when you set out on 1st January, I'm going to do this, and you don't do it, the next time you say, I'm doing it on 1st January, your brain has registered, you're not going to do it. and it has protected itself from you harming it. Can you imagine? Like when I understood that science, I said, Turi Kuchi, like, what is this? Anyhow, the brain is meant to resist that change. So therefore, that's a typo. I was supposed to write procrastination. That word down there is procrastination. So the procrastination is also a form of protective mechanism. Because of fear, you're fearing what's going to come. What if I don't do it? What if I do it and it happens? So procrastination is also a protective mechanism. Scientifically, if I had time, this would take like a whole lecture to tell you the science that happens behind these things. And then lastly, the lack of accountability. That one is a no-brainer. And that's why I'm here. Can I be your accountability partner? While you might have failed 20%, statistically, when you have an accountability partner, your win is assured by 95%. Can you imagine? Whatever level you are. And the accountability partner, you have to do your part, they have to do their part. So it's a mutual understanding, okay? Let me see, did someone write something in the comments? Oh, you're welcome. Claire, thank you so much for paying forward. You're very welcome. Thank you so much. Yeah, my dad was special. Okay, so we go on quickly as we run through. So how do we start? I've said so many things. I've said so much science. I prefer to keep the things simple. And when I'm teaching my people, I always tell my patients, don't do something you're not going to do for the rest of your life. No. You know, it's easy for us to tell you when you come to the consultation, go exercise, go walk, go eat right, don't eat fats. Are you going to do this for the rest of your life? So I want you to edit your list. Look at what you've written on your list. What is there should be something you're going to start today and you're going to do for the rest of your life. I'll tell you why that is possible. You might fail, a month might come and fail, but because you've set it as your default, you know that you need to go back to it. And one thing I should have said at the beginning, all this has to be documented. So if you don't have a journal, today, go and buy your journal, your notebook, and let's document this transformation, okay? Whatever is written down, your brain registers as an affirmation and an instruction. But if I start to tell you the science, I won't finish. Let me go on. So that first, how do we start? We are going to start by winning. If you got a chance to listen to my last podcast, I did a special podcast. I ran a Hope Ignites Healing podcast. Again, it's a give back. And I started that podcast in my time of trauma, just talking because I didn't have people to talk to at that time. I said, oh, let me talk to my phone as a form of healing. And over time, I have really grown in love with the podcast. So I explained what win means to me. Where did I start? The W is why. Why is this change so important to you? My dear people, when you know your why, that why will keep you going. I want each one of you to take time. If we had time, we would do it. But take time and write down your why. Why is this thing so important for you? Please write it down. Is it because you want to win a big deal? Is it because you're paying forward somebody? Why is it? What is that big why? For me, I've told you my why is completeness. Whatever I do, I desire to be complete. So every morning, whatever I do, I have to remember, is it making me complete? I is introspect. Let's start from who are you? You know, you might want to run and start writing a book, and yet you're not even good at English. Who are you? Your routine you might want to do is probably to save money, and you have no idea about finances. Who are you? What makes you happy? What completes you? What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? Who are you? That's introspection. N, who is your network? We are all here and we're going to be each other's network for this challenge. But you go back and say, who do I have in my arsenal that can support me to get my win? It is today, I was listening to a podcast as I was driving, one of the ladies I follow, and she was talking about elegance. She's an icon for elegance. She's like, people who don't seek help are masculine. Men are the ones who don't seek help. So she was assuring us how ladies have to seek for help. If you don't seek for help, you're being so masculine. She assured us. I said, okay, forgive me for every time I haven't sought help when I need it. So anyways, who's your network? Who's in your arsenal? Who is going to help you achieve your win? Write that down. So you see why you need your journal? Good. First, keep the first promise to yourself. And how are we going to do that? By setting the track record. Start small. I know there are so many things we want to achieve. Start on the most urgent one on that list. That's why I said pick out one. Maybe I can accept 2 or 3, but because of if you've not done this over the year, you're not suddenly going to do 3. So you're setting realistic goals, okay? So let's pick 1, 2, maximum 3, but I would prefer 1, okay? And then sit in that subconscious belief in yourself. Say, if in 21 days I have done this, what will it look like? Paint that image and write it down. If I do this in 21 days, and by the 21 days is just a starter, what will I look like? Write it down. And guys, again, to remind you, while you're doing this method, you'll be so happy, you'll be so excited. And while you're happy, dreaming what you will look like Primera says she can't wait, your body releases good things. Your body releases endorphins, serotonin, you know, you might hug someone out of excitement, you release oxytocin. So you're releasing good things that naturally heal your body. So please do the work, because we want healing, right? We want healthy human beings that are healed, okay? And then start small. I've already mentioned that. Make that small promise to yourself and make a small win. If you do one day and you do it well, celebrate it. Tell somebody about it. I'm going to give you the opportunity to share your win with me in these 21 days. And then lastly, protect your word. No promises. There are promises that you can keep. Say no to promises you cannot keep. If it's overwhelming, you have the courage to say no. That's another lesson altogether. And it's okay to say no. Saying no out of strength is much, much better 101 times than saying yes out of a weakness. So one of my goals for this year, I think I had 10 according to the well-beings. One of them was to respect Lily, to respect myself and respect my intuition and respect my nose. I am a very loving and warm person. So because of that, I find myself, yes, yes, yes. Even when you're inconvenienced, yes, yes, because you don't want to hurt people. You don't want to disorganize people. But in the process, I'm the one hurting. Before you know it, I'm developing a UTI because I'm overwhelmed, you know? And I had one of those incidences this weekend when someone expected me to attend their mastermind, because I have attended the previous years. And when I sat with myself, I said, you know what, Lillian, you can't make it. You'd have loved to make it. My children had school events, both of them. And I said, no. She was hurt, but truth be told, I couldn't make it. And that I would have loved to, but I couldn't. So I feel for me, that's a big win. That's a big, big win. And it was a simple goal on my list, okay? So that's why I'm saying to write down those things. And by the end of the weekend, I didn't have stress hormones. If I had tried, I would have been juggling through town. You guys know what the traffic looked like this weekend. Okay, so we are moving forward. We're almost there. What then am I talking about discipline? I found this acronym and it just did it for me. I'm going to, just in case you're trying to copy or to write notes and I'm not able to slow down, I'll find a way that we share this and I'll tell you how as we finish. So D is for determination. We are determined to do this. And you have to promise yourself. You're not promising me, you're promising yourself, because you know who you are and what you deserve. Identity, that I've already talked about. What's your identity? Who are you? That is so important in discipline. In fact, it's the starting point. You're your own commander. You set the tone. If you cannot be your own commander, the world is going to command you to whichever direction they need you to go. And that's not fair, and that's not good for your health. Then you're gaining confidence. And how do you gain confidence? When you do one thing and do it well, it increases your levels of confidence. It's like an accountability, a record. And that's why I'm saying each of the wins, write them down. Every win you do and finish it, you are confident. We're all confident in our accolades. You know, I'm a doctor, I'm a what? Because we finished. I did medical school, I finished. I struggled a little in 4th and 5th year, but I finished. At that time, I felt such a poor student of medicine. But now you can't even tell me otherwise, you know. When you finish something, you are confident in it. So find your confidence. Independence. Don't rely on someone. While you might need an accountability partner, you have to be your first accountability partner. You should be able to do something confidently and know that you're going to finish it. P is punctuality. That was a big lesson for me, and it's still a lesson for me. But being punctual is being respectful to yourself and the people that you are accountable to. Leadership is an obvious one. You can't be a leader when you've not led your own life. So many times we are leading everybody else, and yet we haven't led ourselves into the person that we want to be. I is the impression of belief. What do you believe? What is at your core belief? And here I like to say, it's not just about religion or what religion you prescribe to. It is about your authenticity. When you are alone, even without churches, who are you? What is your truth? And how do you walk through life? Authenticity. Show me one who is authentic, and I'll show you one who is spiritually well. There is no spiritual wellness without authenticity. The two are like east to west, yeah? And then no, not to fail. We target not to fail by doing small things first. That's what I told you. And then E is ever alert. You are alert on whatever it is that you're setting yourself to do, okay? So quickly, how does it look like in our timelines? This is what it looks like. We're going to start at day one, and our day one is tomorrow, because today I am I'm telling us what we're going to do. And initially there'll be resistance, but when you persevere through day one, you will feel the difference, because your body has released natural things of happiness because you've done something. And then your mood will be better, maybe not immediately, depending on what it is you are trying to work on. But when you do between day one and week one, consistently for 7 days, you should feel a difference. You will feel your body looking forward to this, better brain function, and the effect that that does to your body causes your body to heal, causes your body to release good things, okay? Then if you've managed to go up to week one, you're having improved energy and better health, depending on what goal you've chosen. Even if it's a goal of visiting someone every day, like I've explained, it causes natural healing to your body because you release good hormones. So you will be a step further in your health than you were yesterday. So I'm not talking about only physical wellness goals of exercise. No, I'm talking about whatever goal you set. And I'll talk about the areas at the end. And if you carry on for a month, change becomes evident. Day to day, life benefits are now obvious. You are starting with a book. Now you didn't have anything. Now you have a chapter of a book. You know, you didn't have a friend. Now you have a friend you talk to every day. You had gained a lot of weight. You might not have lost 1 kilo, but you're feeling lighter. You're feeling fresh, you know, and better mental and body fitness is guaranteed if you carry on. So around between the green arrow 1 and 6 months is where I'll leave you. I won't continue with you, but you need to carry on for you to see the results. In 6 months, your physiology will have changed. And physiology, I mean your outward and inward making of your body, okay? And you will see a closer look towards your target. And within 1 year, you will have a new mindset about discipline. And that's exactly me right now. I started this time last year, maybe December or January this year. And my God, I look at this year and I can confidently say, other than my years in childhood, this has been one of my best years, honestly. In 1 year, if you carry on, your mindset has changed. That's why I'm so excited to share it with whoever cares to learn. And then you have a new lifestyle, your own lifestyle. And you say, for me, Sarah, this defines my holistic health. This defines me living a life of abundance. And then you have your great win. You are disciplined. You might fail, like I've said, there are days, there are weeks. There's a week that you will fail to do what you had promised yourself to do. But because you have a default, you have a why where you started from, you can quickly go back to your default. And because you know you did it for 21 days, it's already a win in your record, okay? So 30 minutes my timer has gone off. I need to finish in the next 10 minutes and we're out of here. So in 1 year, we're going to be winning. So what are the areas I'm talking about? Emotional. Anything that you want to work on in emotional well-being, it could be listening to yourself, it could be your mental health, it could be you reducing stress, maybe you overthinking, or maybe writing in your journal. So different things go into the emotional well-being, being kind to yourself. And then physical is the easiest. Physical is exercise, diet, and so on. Then social well-being is wider. Social well-being is you in your spiritual, anything minus yourself is social well-being. So I usually teach people anybody. So that's your God is outside of you. So your God, your spouse, your family, your parents, your workmates, your people around you. And then your well-beings in reading, that is books, that's intellectual. And then there's what else? Your spaces. That's why I put that picture. When you're arranging your home, that is you improving your social well-being. Our homes are decluttered. And at this point, let me give let me bust some of your bubbles. When you go back home and look at your home, the way your home looks is a representation of what your mind looks like. An organized mind cannot stand a disorganized environment. So that is part of your social, cleaning up your house, your car. It could be on your list. I want my home, my bedroom cleaned in 21 days. And let's work on that together. And then, of course, your finances. Maybe I've never saved. I want to have saved 100,000 in 21 days. Let's do this, okay? Very small, doable steps, okay? So our plan, this is what it's going to look like. Are you in? Are you in? Let me see in the chat. Are you in? Who is in? Can you let me know in the chat? Say, yes, I am. No, I'm not. Yes. Thank you, Gloria. Thank you, Rosalind. Thank you, Martha. Thank you. Thank you, Marion. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yes.
Doctor, I can't type, but I am in.
You're in. Thank you, Fortunate. Thank you, my dears. You people, if you're in, I'm also in. I'm also in. Me, I was in even before you said yes, yeah? So if you're in, that is my business line. That is my number. If you're not in Uganda, +256 772 628 969. Mark that number. Send me a WhatsApp message with your name, your two names, the way you like them, with your email address. I know I already captured email addresses, but I have a whole pool of people that might not say yes. So I want the new list of people that have said yes, okay? Send me your email address on that line, and I'll tell you why. And then tell me what area you're working on, okay? If you can trust me to know your things. Tell me what area. If you don't want to say what area, it's okay. You don't have to, okay? You don't have to, but if you would like me to hold you accountable, please do that, okay? So your name, don't post because we are many. I don't want to get overwhelmed and give poor quality work. Just do that, name, email address, and what you're working on, okay? When you do that, in the course of today, I will send you a workbook that we're going to be using. So I'll send it on WhatsApp. I hope we're on WhatsApp. If someone is not on WhatsApp and would like to do this, let me know, and then we shall try to figure out how we shall do it, okay? And then I will send a link to a general administratively managed group. And I prefer to use WhatsApp because it's the easiest. On the few people that I asked, WhatsApp is the easiest. But I know WhatsApp is crowded and congested. I wished I had an alternative like Telegram or something. But because of overwhelm, I don't want our discipline challenge to be overwhelming. So I'm making it admin managed. So you won't be posting messages, what, I'll tell you how you're going to be accountable, okay? And then every day I will share a word that will steer you onto your journey every day. It will either be a video, an audio, or text. Whichever I'm able to do, I commit to do that. And when I do that, what is your part? Now for me, it's me doing. So what's your part? Today, I want to remind you of a 6P formula that I used when I started this journey. Proper prior planning prevents poor performance. proper prior planning prevents poor performance. So we're going to use today to plan what we are going to do starting tomorrow. If you haven't planned, you will fall into tomorrow unprepared. So let's plan again, depending on what, based on what we've discussed. What are you going to work on? What is most urgent? How are you going to do it? Okay. I got that from a book. What's that book? Eat That Frog by Brian Tracy. One of my wins for this year, I'll say that on the last slide as I'm encouraging people. And then when you do that, when you've prepared today, get your journal. You need a journal. I always tell my ladies when we are doing work, the journey of you getting healthy, you cannot do it without a notebook or a journal. You have to. Journal is not just writing sentiments, but accountability of yourself is in your journal. To yourself is in your journal. And then we're going to win every day. I want to ask you, I want to teach you something that, again, I teach in my programs. You need to awake early if you're to win. So whatever time you've been waking up, I'm going to challenge you to wake up 30 minutes before your usual time to do that challenge. Because the only time you have control of is the time you wake up, early morning. The rest of the day is not yours. Your daughter, your child, your son, your husband, your teacher, your employee. By the evening, you have this lunch date, you have BNI, Kwegamba. You have no control of any time outside your first hours of the morning. So if you're used to wake up at 5, in Luganda, we say choyagala chikuseza. You're going to wake up at 4:30 to get your challenge done. And this is what I'm asking you to do. You don't need 2 hours or 5 hours, only 20 minutes. Give that challenge 20 minutes of your day. So if you have 3 things on your list, we need 20 times 3, 20 minutes for each one of them. Just give it 20 minutes. If you can do more, good, but minimum 20 minutes. Then do your challenge, okay? Now, when you do your challenge, attach an emoji to the word I have sent. I'll repeat this in the messages I send you. Attach an emoji. Say, if I woke up and I sent a message for the day, I already prepared them. If I sent the message for day 1, when you see that message and you finish your challenge, attach emoji 1. Look for 1 in your emojis and put it on the message. On my side, I will tally. And that is to avoid many messages on the page. Is that clear? Please tell me if you've understood. In the messages, type for me, yes. Understood what I have asked you to do for accountability? Very good. Doreen has understood. Very good. So quickly, very good. Thank you. Understood. Letitia, thank you. I'm a teacher, by the way. I lectured, so I teach and make sure that learning has happened. Understood. Very good. So I will send an encouragement every day and attach an emoji to it. Day 1, put 1. Day 2, put 2. Day 3, put. So it will be difficult when we get into the binary dates, like day 21 or day 15. After 7 days, we shall start again. Day 1, day 2, day 3 until 7. And then in the 3rd week, we start again. Day 1, day 2, day 3 until 7. And on my side, I'll be tallying. I'll be tallying and seeing how you are doing with your goal. Awesome. I think I am done. I think I'm done. I'll just give you 2 testimonials. I have many. I can't give names because in my practice, patient confidentiality is very key. So I can't even tell you who these people are, but trust that they are real people. I've called them the lovely Lady J, who attempted this. Her target was to lose weight. And she saw results in 5 months. She cut from 93 kilos to 79 kilos. I read through her lifestyle and told her, just walk. Just walk every day because you know what you want. She didn't have to be accountable to me because she was so eager. And then I also taught her intermittent fasting. And I told her, do it every day. And when you fail, start again tomorrow. And she lost, I didn't even count how many kilos are those, but in 5 months, she was below 80. Her target was 75. So in 6 months, I'm sure she would have gotten there. I don't remember. That's a few months ago. Then I have another lovely lady, G. She was living in fear. This lady had frequent panic attacks, uncertainty, fear of the feared, okay? And her health was at stake because she was really starting to show symptoms. She wanted to be happy again. This lady was, when we went through all these things that I'm teaching you guys, she was able to master a morning routine that worked for her. And she has since been able, she sent me a message, I think 2 weeks ago, she was finally able to go shopping alone in a space of 5 months. Another testimony is myself. That's the last testimony I'm giving. I started this journey, the one that's really overwhelmed me, and I'm like, wow, this thing works, is reading. Fine, I'm a doctor and I like reading articles, blah, blah, but reading has been a challenge for me. And I said, let me do 20 minutes every day. And let's see where we go. My target was to read 6 books this year, to give myself 1 book per 2 months. And as I count now, I'm on book number 7 or 8, somewhere there, just by doing 20 minutes every day. And I can go on to my whole list of goals. There are 2 that I haven't yet done, and those are the ones I'm going to do on this challenge. And that is to write. I promised myself I'll write something, and it's not done. So for me, that is going to be so I've been able to achieve in my well-being, like I've told you, emotional, physical was to exercise. I love exercise, but the family, children work, I wasn't able to keep up. So I wake up early before everyone and I put in 20 minutes of a workout. On a day when I'm off work, I drop my kids to school and I put in my 20 minutes, I tick that box. So if I've done it, you guys can do it, right? 20 minutes, don't even look for 1 hour. And I want you to do it in your room. If you wait for the gym, you might never get the gym during that day. So find a place in your house, your sitting room, your bedroom, and do it, okay? Perfect. Yes, so let's start. That is my website, Hope Health Healing. It is soon changing. I changed my name. The company name has changed to Holistic Health Hub, because it's more a hub of living in holistic health and a life of abundance. So look out, we'll soon be changing that to Dr. Lil H3. And my principle is really health. Okay, those are my numbers, and that's the email address in case we need to communicate on email. My social media platforms are like that, but that is really for information giving. As here, we are becoming personal. Okay. So you find me at Dr. Lillian N Kaliisa, usually that's what I use, or Dr. Lil H3 for the groups. And then lastly, I want to share my gratitude. Gratitude, like my heart is full. With G4G, Fortunate, Primera, Diana, the team that has allowed me to partner with G4G, I'm a mentor, but it's not a guarantee that they would give me the platform. I know that there's a part of my H3 family that's not in G4G that you are on this call. I want you to look up G4G. G4G is a mentorship program that empowers girls to lead. Girls is us women. And it's a way of giving back. I found so much fulfillment teaching other girls to lead. And while I was doing it, I found my own healing. So for the H3 family that's not in G4G, I want you to look up G4G and become a mentor. To be a mentor, you have to first be mentored. You get the details from their website. But thank you so much, G4G. You just bless me and make my heart full. H3 family, my H3 administration team, ask them to be here. Some of them might not even, be interested, but they are here. Thank you. And to each one of you,